bless this journey and keep them safe.
What is a river? We see it as water flowing from source to sea. We use it to drink, to wash, to travel. But what if a river is more than water? What if it is a presence? A living thing that remembers every drop that has passed through it, every prayer whispered on its banks, every body lowered into its depths. This is the story of a river that loved a village, that protected them from destruction. But love, even from a river, has expectations. And when those expectations are not met, the water remembers. The village of Maji Moya, water of life, had lived beside the great Mto Mkubwa for as long as anyone could remember. The river was their mother, their father, their lifeline. They honored it not out of fear, but out of gratitude. Every full moon, the eldest woman of the village would walk to the water's edge and pour a calabash of the first harvest into the current. Every birth, the newborn was touched with river water. Every death, the body was washed before burial. The river responded. It never flooded their homes, never dried in drought, never took a child who ventured too close. It was a benevolent spirit, and they treated it as family. But outsiders came. Men with papers and guns, representing a company that wanted to build a dam upstream. They claimed the land, the water, the future. The village refused. The outsiders threatened. The village stood firm. Then the rains came, not gently, but with fury. The river swelled, higher than anyone had ever seen. The outsiders, camped upstream, laughed. "Your river will wash you away," they said. "Then we'll build our dam on your ruins." But that night, something impossible happened. The river changed its course. Not slowly, over centuries, but in a single, roaring night. The water carved a new channel, a great arc that curved around the village, leaving it untouched while sweeping away the outsiders' camp entirely. By morning, the village stood on dry land, surrounded by a fresh, green valley where the old riverbed had been. And the new river flowed a mile to the east, still protective, still present, but distant. The village was saved. But they had not understood the cost of such love. The elders knew. The oldest among them, a woman named Salama, had seen the river move in her dreams before it happened. She had warned the village that the spirit of the Mto Mkubwa, whom they called Maji Mkuu, the Great Water, was capable of terrible things in the name of protection. When a river loves you, she said, it wants you close. It wants your offerings, your prayers, your children playing on its banks. If it moves to save you, it moves you farther away. And distance, to a river, is a wound. The villagers did not understand. They were alive. Their homes were intact. The outsiders were gone. What more could they want? But Salama knew. She walked to the new river every day, spoke to it, poured her offerings. The other villagers, grateful but busy rebuilding, slowly stopped their rituals. The new river was farther away, a long walk instead of a few steps. The full moon ceremonies became monthly, then sporadic, then forgotten. Only Salama kept the faith. Only Salama remembered. Years passed. Salama aged. A new generation grew up who had never known the old river, the closeness, the intimacy. To them, the Mto Mkubwa was just a river, useful, but distant. They built their lives inland, facing away from the water. The river noticed. The first sign was the silence. The river, once alive with the sounds of birds, frogs, children, grew quiet. Its flow slowed. Its color darkened. The fish grew fewer. A young woman named Panya, Salama's granddaughter, noticed first. She was a curious child, drawn to the water despite her friends' indifference. She would sit on the bank for hours, watching, waiting, feeling something she couldn't name. Grandmother, she asked one evening, why is the river sad? Salama, old and frail, looked at her with tears in her eyes. You feel it too, child? Then you are the one. The one who must make things right. She told Panya the story, the full story, not the legend the villagers told. How the river had moved to save them, how it had expected gratitude, how the gratitude had faded. How the river's love had turned to loneliness, and loneliness to hunger. The river wants us close, Salama whispered. It saved us because it loved us. But love that is not returned becomes something else. Something hungry. If we do not go back to it, truly go back, with our hearts and our rituals, it will take us anyway. Not through flood, but through longing. It will pull us into itself, one by one, until we are all part of its current. Panya was terrified. What can we do? Salama gave her a small, smooth stone, worn by centuries of water, shaped like a tear. Take this to the river at the next full moon. Place it in the water and speak these words, we remember. We return. We are yours. The river will hear. It will decide. Panya waited for the full moon. She told no one, not her parents, not her friends. Salama had made her swear secrecy. The others will not understand. They will try to stop you. This must be done alone. The night came. Panya walked to the river, the stone clutched in her palm. The moon was bright, painting the water silver. She knelt, spoke the words, and placed the stone in the current. For a moment, nothing. Then the river rose. Not in a wave, in a column, a spiraling tower of water that reached toward the moon. And from its heart, a face emerged. Ancient. Beautiful. Terrible. It was Maji Mkuu, the spirit of the river, and its eyes were fixed on Panya. You remember, it said, its voice the sound of 1,000 currents. You alone. The others have forgotten. They build their lives facing away from me. They no longer offer the first harvest. They no longer touch their newborns with my water. They no longer wash their dead in my embrace. Panya trembled but held her ground. Great Mother, they have forgotten, but I remember. Let me bring them back. Let me remind them. The spirit's eyes softened, slightly. You have until the next full moon. If by then your people have not returned to me, not just in words, but in ritual, in gratitude, in love, I will take what I am owed. Not through anger. Through need. I will draw you all into my depths, one by one, until this village lives in me as it once lived beside me. You will not drown. You will become part of my current, flowing forever, never resting, never forgetting. That is the fate of those who are loved and then abandoned. The water collapsed. The river returned to its banks. Panya ran home, shaking, weeping. She tried to tell them. The next morning, she gathered the village and spoke of what she had seen, what the river demanded. They laughed. They patted her head. They called her a dreamer, like her grandmother. The river is just water, they said. It cannot take us. It cannot love us. You have listened to too many old stories. Panya pleaded. They ignored her. The days passed. The moon shrank, then grew. And in the village, strange things began to happen. A child, playing too close to the old riverbed, was found sitting in the dust, staring at the distant water, unresponsive. When they brought her home, she spoke in a voice not her own. The river calls. The river waits. A fisherman, casting his nets in the new river, felt something tug, not a fish, but a memory. He saw his own reflection, but it was old, ancient, as if the river held an image of him from centuries ago. He dropped his nets and ran. An elder, dying in his bed, whispered his last words to his daughter, I can hear it. The water. It's singing my name. It's been singing my whole life, and I never listened. Panya watched in horror as her people began to drift, not physically, but spiritually, their attention turning toward the river they had ignored. They dreamed of water. They woke thirsty. They found themselves walking to the bank without remembering how they got there. The night before the full moon, she went to Salama. Her grandmother was failing, her breath shallow, her eyes fixed on some distant point. "Child," Salama whispered, "I have kept the faith my whole life. The river knows me. It will not take me, it will welcome me. But you must choose. You can stay with your people and share their fate. Or you can become the new keeper, the one who remembers, the one who goes to the river every day and pours out gratitude. You cannot save them all. But you can save yourself. And maybe, in time, you can teach others to remember." Panya wept. "I don't want to be alone." Salama smiled. "You won't be. The river will be with you. Always." She died that night, peacefully, her hand in Panya's. And as her spirit left, Panya saw it, a shimmer of light, flowing toward the river, joining the current, becoming part of the water that had loved her so well. The next night, the full moon rose. Panya walked to the river alone. Behind her, the village slept, oblivious, dreaming of water. She knelt. She placed her hands in the current. And she spoke, not the ritual words, but words from her heart. "Great Mother, they do not remember. They may never remember. But I will. I will come to you every day. I will pour out my gratitude. I will teach my children, and their children, to honor you. Let that be enough. Let them live." The river was silent for a long moment. Then, gently, its waters rose and touched her face, not a threat, but a caress. "You are enough," it whispered. "You will be my voice on land. My reminder. My bridge. Go now. Live. And when your time comes, I will welcome you as I welcomed your grandmother." Panya returned to the village. The strange dream stopped. The pull faded. Life continued. But she never forgot. Every day, she walked to the river. Every full moon, she performed the rituals alone. Her children learned. Their children learned. And slowly, over generations, the village returned to the water, not because they were afraid, but because Panya had shown them that love, true love, requires presence. The river flows still, a mile to the east. And every day, someone from Maji Moya walks to its banks, pours an offering, speaks a prayer. The river is no longer lonely. It no longer hungers. But in its depths, Salama swims with the current, and Maji Mkuu watches, and the water remembers what it is to be loved. Panya learned that love, even from a river, must be nurtured. That protection without presence becomes a prison. Her story teaches us that the things that save us also need us. Not out of weakness, but out of the nature of connection. To be loved is to be responsible. To be saved is to owe gratitude. And gratitude, truly given, is never a burden, it is a bridge. But what do you think? Was the river's demand unreasonable, or was it simply asking for what it had always been given? Could the village have been saved without Panya's sacrifice, or was she the only one who truly understood? And what would you do if the thing that protected you began to ask for something in return? Let me know in the comments below. The water still flows, and the keepers still walk to its banks. But in other places, other spirits wait, other debts gather interest, and other villagers forget. If tales of ancient spirits and the cost of their love haunt you, you cannot miss The Boy Who Ran with Gazelles Won a Race for His People. The link is on the screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe for more original, chilling tales from the safari of tales. We follow every current to its source. Until next time. When you drink from a river, remember, it might be drinking from you too.